No. So I wasn't going to stream tonight. Me and Chaz were actually going to do. I was going to let you guys see what happened to ALA. We were going to talk about that tonight. That's what we were planning on doing. It's been moved to tomorrow, so shout out Chaz for being patient. He couldn't make it last night. I had some things come up tonight. I couldn't do it, but I wasn't going to stream at all. But then I started looking at some stuff. Started checking some things, and as you can see by my title, um, things didn't look good. First of all, let me just run you down how I got to this rabbit hole. First of all, let's fix one thing for you guys. All right. The AB3 anime Discord link was apparently not working. So if you go to our homepage, if you click right here for three more links, our Discord is right here. We just updated that. So if you do want to join the AB3 Anime Discord, feel free. We did fix that. So it is now possible to get back onto the Discord. So if you do want to be a part of the Discord group, feel free to join. It's listed. You guys will be able to get on now. Again, sorry we couldn't fix that before. Now, here's where things get a little crazy. Okay, first of all, again, your boy was not expecting to stream tonight. But as I'm talking with Chaz, I'm like, all right, cool, we'll move this, we'll move that. And I don't know why it came across my feed. Honestly, I think it was because of BTS. BTS came across my feed with their world tour, and I was checking to see if it was in LA during the summer or something, because hey, some things kind of throw off tickets and stuff. Not that I saw. No, they were later in the spring. No, I mean the fall. They were in September, so no big deal. Not gonna mess with us at all. So I'm like, all right, cool. We here, no problem. Ain't nothing to worry about. We ain't got to see none of that, bro. Then your boy starts scrolling through LA events, and I remember that LA is going to host the Olympics. Now that has nothing to do with this summer, but that transitioned into soccer, football, whatever you call it in the country you're in. And that transitioned into the World Cup. And then me realizing that, hey, isn't LA supposed to host some World Cup games this year? And I started thinking, I'm like, yo, I've always seen the outside room block prices be pretty high for hotels at Anime Expo week, usually pretty high. But I've never seen them as high as they are right now. Like they're very high for that week. And some hotels are actually sold out for that week. So I'm also like, hey, why would that price be that high? Like, there's no way that the World Cup is the same weekend that we're at Anime Expo. There's just no way. It's the World Cup. It's everywhere. So I'm looking. I'm like, all right. So this isn't there. That's not there. This date doesn't match with that. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe we're ducking this. And then I finally get to our dates. And the first thing I notice is it says LA is going to host this one particular game and then some of the group stages. So, of course, I try to get you guys the info as quick as I can find it. So I'm like, yo, when would the group stages take place? And the group stages would take place from middle of June to the end of June. End of June is like the 20th or some stuff to like July 19th. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of odd. That might suck a little bit. It's like, how does this affect us though? And then I look again and I'm like, wait a minute. Let's see if we can dive a little bit deeper and figure this out. When exactly are the games scheduled for group stage games in LA? Like, how does that work? And then, of course, I come across the actual event. I come across the actual schedule. I realize that we may have an issue. Now, a few years ago, we had a situation where Anime Expo was taking place at the same time another event was taking place. This isn't uncommon, but the amount of people for the other event was uncommon. Anime Expo had their convention at the same time is like, I know this is going to sound weird, but it was a barbershop quartet world championship with the same weekend. And because of this, the room blocks for each hotel we were staying at were a lot smaller. We weren't aware of this when we were booking the rooms. We didn't find out till later that because of the barbershop quartet being some places, that the room blocks at XYZ Hotel was a lot smaller and everyone had to be spread out a little bit more. So a lot of people had to book outside the room block. I say that to say that I hope that's not the case with this situation, but there's a very good chance that we're going to run into a situation where, how do I say this? Where we're going to have to deal. I don't know how we're going to deal with this. I just don't. I don't understand for sure if this is what's about to happen. But the room block may be getting a little bit smaller. Okay. So with that being said, let's let me show you guys what I was looking at, and then give you guys a slight hypothesis of what is happening and what we may have to come across next week when we're booking rooms if they sell out fairly fast because the room block is smaller. Again, I haven't verified if the room block is smaller. That's info I don't have access to. But I do know that the last time that something like this happened, the room blocks we were given were smaller. Not to the detriment of AX. They tried to do what they needed to do. But other events also snatch up hotel rooms and room blocks. And then other people book outside of that because it's such a popular thing. Now, what we have here is the FIFA 2026 World Cup schedule for LA. When you scroll down, this is what happens. So LA is hosting a few of these games, and then they're hosting some group stage games. So their weekend schedule, so you could go ahead and buy tickets for whoever's the winner. It's kind of right here. Now this is taking place mainly in Eaglewood area. Okay, so they're mainly at SoFi Stadium. But here's the thing: people who come for these things like to stay in downtown LA. Why? Because there's a lot going on in downtown LA. It's a lot easier to maneuver around. And overall, the hotels are, I mean, they're really good hotels. So people book room blocks at these hotels that we stay at. They book to stay there because it's a really nice area. And that's what you want to do. Now, the reason I say all this is when you scroll down to the dates, so far, it doesn't affect us at all. Has nothing to do with us. 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 First of all, bitch, this is the first day of Anime Expo. Exactly. This one right here is the actual first day of Anime Expo. So we're already going to have to deal with some crazy traffic this day because of the World Cup. I don't think you guys understand how popular the World Cup is. The World Cup is like the Super Bowl on steroids. Like, yes, football is king in the US, but that's American football. Football around the world, like soccer, is different. Like, the fan bases of soccer is crazy. They will throw hands with pops over their soccer team. They're wild, okay? So I say all that to say that there will be a lot of people here for this event. And here's how things work. You guys always know I like to show you different things. So let's this in perspective just a little bit. Say you want to come for this game right here. It's on July 2nd. All right? It's right here. The most logical thing would be come in the day before the game. Watch the game. And then you can leave the day after the game. Or this, you don't want to really fly on a Saturday. We come in for the game on Tuesday, after parties and stuff. Let's leave on Sunday. Here's where this situation affects us. There is also a game on the 28th, which means if you are a big football fan, soccer fan, whatever you call it again, you're going to check in probably the Saturday before or even the Friday before. You're going to stay from Saturday to Saturday. Why? Because you get a bigger discount and a better price that way. And you're going to watch both the games this week if you can afford it. Or you're going to watch at least one of these two games. And how does that affect us? Because this is the first week of Anime Expo, which means we're going to have to share hotel rooms with the people who came for the World Cup also. Which means the room block for Anime Expo may be a lot smaller this year. What up, Yuki? What up, Colorado? I can't believe you're talking about football when my team just lost. Hey, man, we all taking L's right now, okay? I'm talking about your football teams. Which team is yours? Who just lost? Um, the reason we're talking about them tonight is because the World Cup is taking place in LA the same week we're at Anime Expo, which means we're probably going to be sharing hotel space with people for the World Cup. And it also probably means that our room blocks are smaller, and Anime Expo has not said anything about it yet. But I guarantee you the room block is probably smaller this year because of the World Cup. Because there's probably so many people coming in who watch these two stage games of the World Cup. And that's just how this works, man. These teams come in, they bring a huge following from all over our country, from other countries to watch these games, which also means that the families need hotels. The team needs hotels. Like all these groups of people, the refs, all the people working on the soccer games, everything, they're all going to need the hotel space. So we're probably getting a smaller room block this year, and no one has said anything. And if we're not getting a smaller room block, that means that the extra space for these Airbnbs that a lot of you guys are used to booking outside the room block are probably going to be gone. The Niners lost? Bro, I didn't think they were. Hold on. We're going to pause this conversation for a second. Hold on. Because I didn't think they were going to lose tonight. I for sure had them winning tonight. Are you serious? Did they really lose tonight? They lost 41-6 to Seattle? Bro, that's crazy. I for sure did not think that was going to happen. I had them beating Seattle tonight. That's wild. I did have Denver winning. I knew they'd probably win. I did not see Seattle winning. Damn. Damn. Wait, bro. Bo Nix breaks bone and ankle? Damn. Okay. Anyway. Just for cuz. Yo, so again, anyway, yeah, we just checked it just cause we can. Um, but yeah, Yuki, so like, what's up? Like, I don't understand. So no one has mentioned this to anybody. No one's talked about the room block space, but the World Cup is for sure happening the same week as Anime Expo. That means Ubers, that means lifts, that means DoorDash is gonna be slower. That means there's gonna be more people moving around downtown. That means that the hotels are not gonna be as open as usual. All that is going to be a headache right now because of the fact that we gonna have to deal with the World Cup that week. And like I said, the logical situation is for someone who wants to see both of these games to come in. I think we may be okay. I don't know. You probably remember. You remember when that damn barbershop quartet championship took place during Anime Expo? Do you remember how many hotel rooms we lost out on because of that? Like people were having to book hotels like 2 and 3 miles out because of the fact that there was nothing available because the barbershop quartet was taking place. That was like rough that year. But I don't know, man. I do. It feels like we're probably going. I'm hoping. Oh, you don't remember? Okay. I'm hoping they keep this situation. I hope we got the same amount of rooms. I just don't know if we will. Let me see. I'm gonna say it was 2022 first shot of Quartet LA competition. Was it 2023? I can't remember, bro. It was either 2022, 2023. Ah, here we go. Was it this one in 2023? Yeah, I think it was 2023. No, that one's in Louisville. It was one of the 2020s. I can't remember, bro. It was like 2022, 2023. It was one of those two. But I remember they were having it during the same time we were there, and they had taken a bunch of the rooms because of it. Like people wanted to stay at the JW, but they couldn't because the Barbershop Quartet had like half the rooms at the JW Marriott already reserved. Like it was rough. I think I even tried to use the scam. I think I went on the Quartet's website to try to book a room through their room to see if I could get into the JW Marriott that year. I think I tried to pull that off. It did not work. Um, but yeah, so I don't know, man. Oh, 2020. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's what happened. It was the 2021. That was right before we went into the little gap. So damn, dude, that sucked. They took so many rooms, bro. Thank you, Pedro. Pedro boy. But yo, it's just something that I think we're gonna have to deal with this year. I think that so if this doesn't affect our room block, which is dope, I hope it doesn't. It will affect the Airbnb situation. So those of you guys, first of all, you guys know how I feel about Airbnbs. Don't do it. Yeah, I know everything in 2020 is hard to remember, bro. That's just real. Um, but if you guys, I don't think anybody should ever do an Airbnb. What's the cleaning deposit for the hotels in the hotel block? On average, any of the Marriotts is $125 per night. So the security deposit for the hotels in the Marriott, 125 per night. Um, it used to be a lot cheaper. It used to be like just 250, but they have considerably upped it. I think the AC and the JW I pay 125 per night for the cleaning deposit. So that's what that deposit is, Colorado. I don't even care what that says because when you go on the AX website, they try to tell you one thing, but it is not the same thing, bro. It's just not. So if you go to the Anime Expo website and go to accommodations, then you go to booking policies. It has a little chart down here. It's supposed to tell you what deposits are and stuff. They don't. You see how these say 250? They don't, bro. It's not 250. It is 125 a night. Okay? It is 100% not 250. So that's on top of paying for like two something a night already. Yes. So most people don't realize that. So supposedly, I think the last time we were there, LA had passed some rule that if there was an extra amount of money in your room total, it had to be included um, in the upfront fee. Tested that theory. That theory was not true. When we got there, yes, that was the upfront cost total of the room itself. But there still was the security deposit. So yeah, that's on top of the 200. Now the biggest difference is Colorado, you get that money back. So the nightly deposit you get back. My suggestion, personally speaking, and I've done this myself, is whatever hotel you pick or whatever hotel you end up staying at, you can reach out to that hotel, like you can call the front desk or whatever, and ask what the nightly security deposit is, and they'll tell you. But on average, it's like 125 a night. And again, you get that back. Takes a little while to get it back, but you do get that money back. But the upfront cost, you do have to pay. You do have to pay 200 per night basically, and then 125 a night for the deposit. I think last year, bro. Hold on. I can tell you how much the JW was last year. Let me let me play with some screens real quick. So the benefit of having new tech this year is we're able to do things off screen now. So shout out to First Last for helping me get this set up. But let's see. You know what? It's not in this one. It's in my other one. I mean, reserve reservation confirmation. Here we go. Now you can also. I'm not trying to be funny. They will send you a screenshot too of all your reservations. I'm pretty sure I have mine still because I always make sure to take a picture of the reservation for me. So let's go back. I hate to say this, back to last January. There we go. And hotel block info. Trying to see if I can get you guys a JW Marriott price. We had a lot going on last year. Here we go. Shit, that is not what I was looking for. Give me one sec, guys. Trying to make sure we can get this. So basically, they ask for more money than they give it back when you're done. Yes. So when you buy a hotel room, you pay for the cost of the hotel, and then they also charge you for a security deposit. But the security deposit, when you check out, they go clean your room. They make sure there's no damages. Um, and as long as you don't have any damages or anything like that, they literally give you the deposit back. So, just so you guys know, last year, we're going to compare this to what the cost is on the screen. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how much the JW ended up costing last year. I know I'm not on the screen there yet. Give me a sec. I'm moving some stuff around. Like I said, I wasn't going to do a long stream tonight, but we're going to answer you guys' questions while we're here. Where are you? Because I know you're not far. All right. So the JW every night last year was supposed to be. Oh, the price did go up. Did it though? Yeah. Room occupancy tax. So last year we paid 244 per night on the JW Marriott on average. So last year the JW Marriott without security deposit ended up costing 1456. That was for 5 nights. So for 5 nights, it cost 14, just under 1500, and then on top of that was the $600 security deposit. So like 2,100 up front. Which I was lying, but like 2,100 up front, you get 600 of that back, but you do pay all that up front. Um, it's a nice little chunk up front, bro. So yeah, you gotta have some money when you check in. But looking at the cost though, this is up from last year. This looks like the price is going up at least $10 from last year's price. Um, because now it's the same price as the Moxie and the AC is 260. I think the AC was 260 last year or 255, but this was 240s last year. So the hotel cost has gone up, which is kind of expected. Um, I do appreciate they left the AX ticket price the same, but yeah, bro, that's crazy. Did not expect that. Didn't expect the hotel cost to go up a little bit, but it did. And there's nothing wrong with that. How long does it take for security to? So I'm gonna just tell you what all hotels say. Technically, the Marriott's. If you okay, let me teach you guys something. If you go downstairs and you don't, I repeat, you don't charge anything to your room. So don't charge no drinks, don't charge no snacks, don't charge no movies, nothing. If you don't charge anything to your room, your money is generally released immediately and it takes 5 to 7 days to come back on your business card. So if you go downstairs, you pay for something in cash, you pay for something with your debit card, you're all good. If you charge anything to the room, anything at all, if it's one drink, they hold your money for 30 days and then they give it back to you. So if you don't charge anything to the room, so don't go downstairs, don't get a drink, don't get a snack, and they'll be like, oh, do you want us to charge it to the room? The answer is no. Pay for that shit with your card, fam. Okay? Pay with your debit card, pay with your credit card, pay with cash. Because if you say yes, charge it to the room, they hold your money for 30 days while they're waiting on charges to settle. They will hold your money for up to 30 days. Okay? So that's just how long security deposits can take to come back. Because what happens is they have to subtract that money from your security deposit. It has to clear and settle. Then they release what's left over to you. It's a whole process. Okay. I made the mistake and charged one drink last year, and literally they held the money for a month. So don't do that. Pay for it with your card. All right. All right, guys. So it was good talking to all you guys. Like I said, I'm not doing a long stream tonight. I just saw this. I wanted to pop up, say what's up to everybody, and tell you guys about it. Tomorrow, the Chad will be on stream with us, showing us some ALA stuff. So we appreciate Chaz. And guys, we're almost there. But you know, when I get the news, I bring it to y'all. I just want y'all to know what's happening. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you if you could pop in. If you couldn't make it, that's cool. Like I said, this was impromptu. But we will see you guys tomorrow night again. I know we've been streaming a lot lately. We out here, so maybe the anime